As pastors and church planners, people and relationships are at the center of what you do. You obviously know this because you're living it. Relationships are your business. You're building interpersonal relationships with your congregation. You're helping each one of them navigate their relationships with one another. And ultimately, you're guiding them and nurturing their relationship with God. That's relationship to the nth degree. The key to connection and intimacy is to have a clear understanding of who you are and what boundaries are needed in your life. Relationships can end up looking a bit like this slide. So let's say, for instance, these two handfuls of slime, they're different people. And they want to be in a relationship with one another, which is great. But how do we connect them? Where do we bring them together? Without a clear structure of who they are, we wouldn't quite know how or where to bring them together. I mean, I suppose we could just randomly choose a spot and try to bring them together. But even if we did that, it would be really hard to tell them apart. I mean, you wouldn't really be able to see where one started and where the other one ended. Where is each person in the slime? Without boundaries, they simply merge into one big mess. And even bigger than that, as church planners, we want to grow our communities, right? Of course we do. And so when there's a lack of boundaries, it's difficult to build anything of significance or structure or sturdiness, right? This is just gonna fall down. And in fact, can be torn apart pretty quickly. Instead of slime, let's look at these Lego pieces as that same relationship, those people who are still wanting to connect. There is a clear distinction between which one is which and where and how to connect them, right? Obviously, even though they are very close to one another and they're building something, you can still see where one is and where the other one is. You can also see that as we connect them, we can build something sizable and secure. Lastly, and maybe even the most big, is that when we decide to break them apart, if that relationship ends, both people, both Lego pieces, are still in their original shape, size, and structure. No one is coming out of this relationship with less or more than what they started with. What this slime and Legos are pointing to is something that really is important and key to any kind of relationship you have. And that is, knowing who you are and having appropriate boundaries leads to real connection. It leads to real closeness and the ability to actually build something bigger than you can on your own. Separateness and personal wholeness actually lead to a more secure self, but also more secure relationships with the other person. There are two big things to get yourself well on the way towards healthy relationships. The first one is, it might sound really simple, and oftentimes it's actually harder than we think. That is simply to know yourself. But to not just know yourself, but to heal the parts of you that have childhood wounds. A big part of healthy relationships is having a whole self that you can share with someone without merging into it. And becoming a person without building walls, protecting yourself off from others. But when we don't heal our wounds, we actually unintentionally project them out onto others and transmit that pain onto them. We do that because we're trying to find relief and healing, even though we don't really understand that we're doing that. Even those of us who are called to help and heal others, we do this transmitting of unprocessed pain to those very people we're trying to help. We are all carrying around younger parts of ourselves that are experienced rejection, pain, unprocessed trauma. These parts need deep care, attention, and love. Another part of knowing yourself is knowing what your values are. So you know what to say yes to and what you want to spend your time doing. Get specific on how much time you want to spend each week engaging your work as a pastor and church planner. Schedule it off. Lock it up on your calendar. How many nights a week do you want to make sure you have dinner with your family? Be specific about the number and stay committed to that. And what are the signs that are specific to you? Because we all have these unique parts of us that let you know that you're tired and need rest or are nearing burnout. Know what you're like when that exhaustion comes, so you notice it as such, and then you can come and do what you need to do. On a lighter note and much more fun note, what things do you enjoy? Having places in your life where there is genuine joy and fun is important, but you can't seek those things out if you don't know who you are. This is deeply brave work. And I know it's not the kind of work that we traditionally think of when we think of planting or pastoring a church. But when you find healing, you can more freely offer to others. And honestly, isn't that the work that we all want to do with Jesus? To find wholeness, healing, and a deep sense of being loved so that we can better love others. Real intimacy, connection, and closeness comes when we can figure out our boundaries, with knowing ourselves, and having taken a brave step of healing the wounded parts that are deep inside of you.